This week's Advent devotion is based on Luke 2:25-32, which I'll read for you. Now there was a man in Jerusalem called Simeon, who was righteous and devout. He was waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was on him. It had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not die before he had seen the Lord's Messiah. Moved by the Spirit, he went into the temple courts. When the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him what the custom of the law required, Simeon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, "Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all nations, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people Israel." While Simeon was holding the small baby Jesus, he was moved by the power he was witnessing in his hands. As Carolyn Vanderhyde mentions in a written part of this devotion, which I encourage you to read, Simeon sees the light that Jesus is, the light to bring all of us out of the darkness. We have seen a lot of darkness within the pandemic, but also with the racial injustices that have happened to so many groups of people. As a staff member of the CBWOQ, I was aware that this was an important conversation to have. But as a Black woman, I felt defeated, angry, and discouraged. I am just a small voice. What could I possibly bring to this conversation? I now know that is not true. We are all powerful through the Holy Spirit. We all have a voice, whether it can be heard or not in the physical world, to use as a platform to shed light and to share love. A collective group of ministry leaders within the CBWOQ and CBWOQ came together to form the diversity team. An online event was created called Journey Together, where we held conversations about race in the context of the church. We were able to share our stories of experiences navigating in a world that does not always see us as equals. By sharing our stories, we are moving such an important conversation forward to the kingdom. I must admit I was reluctant to participate in the conversation at first. I was tired and exhausted of explaining why this conversation mattered. The few voices that were opposed to this issue were blocking me from seeing those who wanted to learn with an open heart and open mind. After seeing the grace that the team had with handling these hard topics and sharing their own personal struggles and stories, encouraged me to do the same. It also softened my heart and approach. The beauty of hearing all these voices helped others in our church family to learn, understand, and pray with us. There is still much more work to be done. We may all have different journeys, but please feel empowered to use the voice God has given you. It is never too small or insignificant. We remember that Jesus was once a small baby and held so much power, and through the Holy Spirit, that power is in you.